Pick a card. What do people feel around you? Shocking revelations, how they feel and how you've affected them. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Psychic MD. If you chose the amethyst card, along with this beautiful amethyst crystal, then this message is for you. For those of you that are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping in. I really appreciate your curiosity, and I hope that you find something here worthwhile. For those of you that are my repeat offenders, thank you so much for re-offending and for showing up. So first, I kind of want to observe this amethyst crystal, because we all know, most of us know anyways, that this crystal is all about healing. It's all about peace, all about calm. And the first thing that I want to say about you and what people feel about you when they're around you, when they meet you, when they see you, I feel like they feel a lot of healing, okay? They feel automatic calm. I also feel like they think that you are a calm person by nature. Even though I feel like some of you guys are a little bit feisty. So you could appear calm on the surface, but get you wound up on a topic that you're really passionate about. And that's when all the fire starts radiating. And I think that takes people quite by surprise. I feel like this is saying that you are definitely calm, cool, collected by many, many degrees. Sometimes you can even appear cold, or people can think that you're cold. Now, it's kind of interesting. I wasn't planning on crystal scrying here, but I'm happening to notice it's almost like an image throughout this crystal right here. And to me, it almost looks like there's something hidden within the crystal. And it's almost glowy, like in appearance. And I feel like you radiate just a peace and a calm. And even actually an auric field can indeed be white, or even amethyst or purple. But you definitely draw people in by also maybe your typical like non-reactiveness. And indeed, some people can feel like you have an RBF face, a resting face, if you know what I'm saying. Now, I don't think that that's thought of like in a mean way, but I do feel like you would have, I guess you could also call it a poker face. People find it difficult to read you. You could like to dress in like monochromatic colors as well. That could be something that people are observing about you, or they like about you. A lot of you can like to work with nature and plants. Yeah, that's what I'm getting about this. It's one of my favorite crystals. I got to stop saying that because they're all kind of my favorite. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get into your reading. First, I want to go ahead and give us a little incense therapy here. Is that a thing? I hope that's a thing, because everybody should have some incense therapy anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and read from the little book. And if you want to get a closer look up as far as this guy goes, let's see if we can bring this closer to the camera while we do a little bit of reading. So this says, embrace your fate. Go forward with confidence and courage. It is time for you to accept the cards you have been dealt. You're more than capable of overcoming this current issue. You need to ensure that your emotions do not get in the way. Let go of the worry and the doubt and embrace the fact that things are going to work out for you. Amethyst is the ideal crystal for reducing stress and is a perfect stone for healing and overall joy. overall joy. Now, I personally meditated with amethyst, and I will tell you, it's really, really powerful. But anyways, that's a story for another day. So grab yourself some amethyst and let its magical energy aid you with courage, peace, and happiness. Going forward, meditate with the stone and use its energy to work to gain its magical benefits. So that is what that is all about. Now I have another set of cards. Typically it is my Twin Flame cards. Twin Flames deck, I guess you can call it. I'll be using it in a slightly different manner this time, since we are discovering more about your effect on other people and what people feel when they're around you. Show me what I need to see about pile number 1. What do people feel when they're around pile number 1? My amethyst people. Show me what people feel when they are around you, and show me now. I feel like you have a lot of lurkers, people that want to kind of see what you're all about, kind of check in on you, check up on you. Indeed, even this card appears like there's like a mystery face and a Cosmo in front of it. So it's a little bit like hidden. It says, when I look into your eyes, I see the universe and it activates me. It's a number 11, very powerful master number. Of course, when you add them up, if you were to add them up and not leave it as a master number, you get the number 2. I always think about cooperative powers, cooperative benefits, also your personal power with the number 2. But I feel like people think that you are well within your own personal power. And I also feel like when they look into your eyes, they can feel like they're falling. Interesting, because the smoke not featured in your reading. I don't know if I can move it and disrupt it. Nope, it's not even within range. Okay. Well, anyways, it's split in 2. So the smoke split in 2. And I feel like people can think that you have a very dualistic nature, a very deep nature, very much like the image that was within that amethyst itself. That there's more to it than meets the eye, and they want to really get to know what it is about you. Show me what I need to see for pile number 1. Did I mention pile number 2? Well, anyways, because we're talking about 2. Show me what I need to see for pile number 1, and show me now. I feel like when people look at you, they notice a depth that most people don't have. And it's actually pretty captivating. People can really wonder. And after you leave, or they leave, I feel like you can leave quite the impression. They think about you for even hours and days to come. I feel insecure, and it's pushing me to grow. Yeah. So I feel like also you call people higher. Even if you're not like, you know, oh, do better. You got to do better. You got to be like me. That's not even the energy that I'm getting. I feel like you lead by example. I feel like you do take maybe a lot of risks. You put yourself out there in manners that other people in manners. You like that? Yeah. Anyways, you put yourself out there in a way, in a manner that other people typically would not. I feel like it could be, I heard the word eccentric. I can relate to that. But I also feel like it's in a manner that's like really deep and open. I feel like you're not a chatterbox by nature. If people got you wound up and they hit that hot button, well, yeah, of course. But I also feel like you are definitely someone that you really speak when there's something that needs to be said. And I feel like when you speak, people actually listen. Not that, you know, people don't listen to each other. But because of your poise, I heard grace. I heard also when you walk in any area, you have a commanding presence. People nowadays would call that big D energy, by the way. You probably know that. You're walking in with main character energy, and people know that. And yet, there's something really graceful and calm and like a deep knowing about you that really rivets people's eyes to you. I will say that. Very, very captivating is what I'm hearing. Show me what I need to see for my amethyst pile. Pile number 1, please. And show me now. And of course, the number 7 is a very spiritual number. And we have the number 3. I hope these are presenting well on camera. Kind of, yeah, kind of can see it. This journey is teaching us one of the most important spiritual lessons, patience. Oh my gosh, I'm going to scratch that. I'm just kidding. I'm not known for my patience. Anyways, it's not about me. So you could really appear to other people as to take things in stride. Also, when you walk, you could have a really long, graceful stride. People can even maybe see around you. It's like you walk with determination. You don't kind of shuffle through life and appear kind of zombie-like. I feel like, okay, I'm going to give you this idea. Picture yourself walking in a mall. If people still do that, I don't know. It's been a gazillion years. I like online shopping better. But anyways, you're walking through a very crowded area and you're noticing people, or even at a casino, and you notice that their gazes are just riveted on machines, on their phones, on maybe perhaps somebody that they're, walking next to. But really completely unaware of their surroundings, really lacking a deep connection, and kind of meandering, a little bit like getting in the way and not noticing this or that. Whereas I feel like you, when you walk through the crowd, you have a laser focus, and it's not that you're not enjoying yourself, but you walk with a stride that's purposeful and confidence. I feel like even the way that you walk is perhaps very different than other people. It's just very graceful. It's hard to describe. So that's another thing that we love about you and that we notice about you. We feel like you have a deeper purpose. And that really does go with this like cosmos, the cosmos in front of the woman's face. It's almost like you bring a whole different world into other people. I hope you're catching that smoke. I'm going to have to learn how to film properly, but not today. Show me what I need to see for pile number 1. What is it that we notice and how do we feel around pile number 1, please? Pile number 1. What do we notice and how do we feel around pile number 1? And show me now. Another 3. All about cooperative energy. It feels like you could be a really good team player if you need to, but I also feel like you do very, very well on your own. And in fact, I feel like you tend to forge ahead and kind of do things. What is that called? Like a maverick energy, just sort of like a trailblazer. Anyways, it says, these feelings overwhelm me and I become afraid. Sometimes I even run away from you because of it. Yeah, and I feel like people intuitively know that you have a depth and kind of like a vision, and maybe it tends to frighten people because honestly, it's really easy to think that, gosh, I'm trying to be maybe a little bit more relatable, but I'm just going to be me. So here we go. I feel like if you're just like one of those people that are caught up in the matrix and it's just so easy to kind of, work and you eat and you get ready for the next day and then you go to bed and then you wake up and then you do the same thing all over again. And you're happy because every 2 weeks you get a paycheck, and you're happy because you get to rest, twice a week, 2 days a week. And you might get a vacation at the end of a year or 12 months or whatever and things like that. And you're just kind of like doing what everybody else is doing and everybody else is content. And why shouldn't you be? And so therefore there's never a need or a pause to question it, especially when the educational system kind of enforces that. And, we grew up, feeling and being trained that those were things that were status quo, that are important to society. And we, in turn, if you're old enough, you've taught our kids. I certainly attempted to teach my child the same things. And it's not that those are like not important, not relevant, but I feel like maybe you've stepped out of that mold anymore and you're kind of like, I'm making my own way. I'm going to definitely be an independent thinker. I'm going to do things my own way. even this person's like totally upside down. It's pretty wild. And I feel like a little bit of a hangman vibe, like you're not afraid to look at things in a different way so that you can get the answers that you need, so that you can continue making moves in a manner that is cohesive and conducive to you, your vibrational match, and all of those things. So I feel like that tends to scare people. Not that they're afraid of you per se, but I feel like you really instill questions in people, not just questions about who you are, although I think that's the beginning of it. I feel like that's the tip of the iceberg. But when you start thinking on a deeper level, I feel like they start, it leads right back to what do they think about themselves, and how are they doing with their 9 to 5, and what do they think about this matrix, and how do they fit in? Are they really content? Did they really decide for themselves that this is going to be good enough? Is it good enough currently? Is this what I want to do? Am I settling? Is this a good idea to settle? Is it, proper for me to even be asking all these questions about myself? And I feel like when you start really exploring and making really groundbreaking decisions like that, it can be very terrifying, especially because, people outside of us are going to kind of be doing the same thing of, eat, go to work, go to bed, repeat the same things over and over again. And I feel like even with the spirit of like the threes and threes, to me, I feel like that's cooperation, collaboration. And I even think about it as like body, mind, and soul. And I also think about the Trinity. And I feel like if we even had one more three here, I feel like the 369 and the Nikolai Tesla and the higher vibrations, and how all of that really configures into the scheme of things, and how it really alludes to things that are beyond what we think that are natural, or even we consider like fantastical. And in some ways, I feel like you could be viewed as not only outwardly fantastical, but you cause people to just pause and really do a lot of self-reflecting. And again, I feel like that could be quite terrifying. Even thinking about like vibrational healing and things like that. Well, what does that mean? What does it mean in my world? Or even exploring on a deeper level. Like all of these people have created incredible, wonderful things that have really changed our lives, or have the potential to do that. Thinking about like machinery that runs off of water versus electricity or gas and things like that, and how all of a sudden they come up disappearing, and so it starts getting you down that path of really questioning and looking at things from a higher perspective, from a deeper perspective, and from a cosmo perspective. I also feel like this talks about you connecting with your higher self, your higher power, and how that can make other people uncomfortable, but in a good way. I feel like you tend to wake people up, shake people up, look at how they themselves can really open up their own trails to blaze. That was kind of weird and awkward, but you're welcome. And anyways, I feel like if nothing else, you cause people to almost knee-jerk reaction, want to kind of withdraw and look within themselves, but they can't help but look at you. Even if they want to run back into, I hope I can unsee this, or unthink all these thoughts of, do I have to question all these things in my life? And no, obviously they don't have to, but the desire to do so is there for a reason. And another, maybe a better example, sorry this is so long, I didn't mean for it to be, but here we are once again, you and I. But another example would be like the spouses that stay married forever, or even for a year or two, it doesn't make a difference, and they're miserable and unhappy, and they're having second thoughts, and they're not wanting things to kind of roll into another year, but for the sake of what, finances or children or the image, their public image, or their taxes or their property, or the sake of not wanting to rock the boat, or making someone else uncomfortable or unhappy. Like there's a gazillion reasons and excuses that we can decide to stay in situations like that, whatever the reason. Rent is cheaper, or even it's cheaper to keep her. Yeah, I've heard that before. So whatever the case may be, I think that would be one scenario that you know, you would cause pause, that's difficult to say, in other people and make them like self-reflect and think, is this really my most authentic self? And do I not deserve something higher? And I think that that part of you is drawing out a type of poison, if you will, from other people. And the poison in this case would be just sort of like not thinking with any level of depth about what it is that they're really doing. They're so busy running after goals that there's no inner reflection about why. Anyways, that is my rant. But you have a really profound and powerful effect on people. I kid you not. And this is how we feel around you. Pile number one. If you like that kind of reading, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for your time. Until next time, namaste. Hi, pile number two. My name is Gracelle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. So if you chose this beautiful crystal quartz card, or this even more beautiful crystal quartz piece, then this pile is for you. And I got to enter a little disclaimer here. This crystal quartz happens to have pyrite in it or on it, and I'm absolutely in love. Not that you need to know that, but here we go. So I'd like to welcome you guys. If you are brand new to my channel, thank you for stopping in. And if you are repeat offenders, thank you so much for stopping in once again. I hope that everyone receives exactly what it is they came here for. And if not, then at least I hope that you get a little bit of amusement. So first, I'm going to say the way that we feel around you. I feel like you could be a little bit like rough around the edges, but in a really beautiful and bold way. I think that you might even utilize an exterior that hides the interior. I feel like you could have a very big soft spot or be an actual softie. When it comes down to it, I do feel like you uphold people's how would you say it? You look after people's welfare a lot, meaning that you don't have a lot of self-interest, okay? I feel like you could be very, very connected with spirit, and that could not be evident by your appearance, by the way, by your personal appearance. You could be somebody that is not like woo-woo. You could definitely not, well, I don't really have crystals on this hand. Anyways, you get the point. You could not wear all those like crystal things that a lot of us do like to wear. You could possibly even look a little bit goth or have something in your appearance or in your expression that kind of tends to be blocked off, closed off, or feel like maybe you're even pushing people away, which is not what I expected when I put this this pile together. Interesting. Now, I will say that your outward appearance is very appealing. It might be very Hollywood, very unusual, or very goth, or a combination thereof. And maybe even as with pile one, you guys might have some similarities here. I feel like there could be something very dualistic about you. But I feel like you pleasantly surprise people. I feel like you're very sharp, you know, when they say that person's really sharp or very to the point. You could be one of those, but I feel like you have a very gentle and diffusing manner about you. Like you could calm down, not calm down a fight necessarily, but you could really calm people that are in an agitated state of mind. You could be like having some serious like managerial skills or de-escalation skills. Fun fact, I was on a de-escalation unit for quite some time, which was really, to me, a little bit comical and interesting. And I kept questioning, I'm like, why am I on this? Why am I getting all these de-escalation calls? I don't get it. but they would not take me off it. So yeah, anyways, you're welcome. I'm going to say that you're very transparent in your dealings with others, transparent maybe even the way that you approach things and your motives, how you work, how you operate. But I feel like it takes a little bit of people to be able to break through your tough exterior or your, I don't know. I heard quiet, I heard assertive. So a little bit of an echo of pile number one. But something definitely about you is very intriguing. I feel like you could have like model-esque features, or something about you is very runway-ish. Is that a word? No. Also, I'm feeling like when we're around you, you could be very couture is what I was trying to come up with. That's the word that most would fit you. I feel like even if you don't think that you are kind of glam or runway in any way, I feel like whatever it is that you choose to wear is in some way very couture. And it could be the manner that you wear it, or it could simply be the way that you pose for a photograph, the way that you layer things or put things together is very different. And it really, really works. And people would not anticipate that. I'm getting someone with their hair pulled back in a ponytail. And it, could be male, female, or we don't read sex on this channel, at least not in that way. But that's the image that I'm having. And with that very sleek back hair, the kind of hair that they master all of their wild hair. And they tame it and they make it work and look runway slick. And maybe your makeup is very on point, to the point where you could appear a little bit, I guess, unapproachable, a very cool exterior. You could appear even at times very clinical, methodical, very technical in the way that you handle things, your mannerisms. You could have very like long fingers, sleek hands, piano playing fingers. There could be something with your nails that could be very aesthetically pleasing. You could actually have them done, or have a large, like a long nail bed, or just simply like very clean, elegant looking hands. Any of those could pertain to you. And how we feel around you is that you're very alluring, mysterious, but someone that we want to like photograph, very, very picturesque. That's a word, but photogenic is the best word. Better, best. Okay, so I feel like you could be very photogenic. People could even like secretly take pictures of you, or want to look at your Instagram or any of your other social media platforms and want to kind of pilfer your photographs, or in other words, steal them for themselves so that they can actually study in the privacy of their own home, or just kind of, I don't want to creep you out, but I do feel like people look at you and they kind of wonder, and it's like, what exactly are you about? I feel like you have a whole different vibe to you. And I think that you like things very linear and kind of clean cut, or at least that's what people think. Anyways, yeah. Moving on, pile two. If you like these kind of readings, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. That is the best way to support me. And at least let me know that you like what I'm doing. If not, I'll be doing whatever comes to mind as usual. So, divine connection, clear quartz. I even love the card, you guys. And also the pyrite, while I am talking all over the place. The pyrite really has to do with, well, they called it fool's gold. And one thing that always sticks out to me is about your reputation. And so there's could be something about your reputation that's a little bit like glamorous, a little bit, you could be like, yeah, you could be, I can't use my words. Is it too late for me? You could be an influencer, or like, yeah, a model. I don't know why I'm getting that. But I feel like you have the ability to read a room really quickly and concisely. And you, if there's any problems that arise, you have the ability just to cut through the chase and really solve them quickly and move on to the next thing. And you kind of don't wait for someone else to take care of it, which would make sense that people would put you in like a de-escalation or in a managerial type of position. Or even, if you're a business owner, then there is that, and you would obviously handle the more challenging aspects of it. So we have divination, connection, and spirituality. Divine spirit is flowing all around us at all times. Right now, the universe is reaching out, asking for your connection and energy. Utilize this magical power to assist you in making decisions and enhancing your daily life. Clear quartz is known as a universal crystal, empowering the user in any crystal it's used with. Quartz is a go-to for any witch or any person. This card is telling you to use some clear quartz in your magical daily practice. Utilize the magical powers of this crystal to enhance your connection to the divine. And of course, it did mention about how it magnifies other crystals that it happens to go with. So anyways, that's what I have for you on that aspect. So let's get some more about how we feel when we are around you and maybe what we're thinking. Show me what I need to see. How do we feel when we're around pile number 2? Or those that chose the crystal quartz, clear quartz. Show me what I need to see. Show me what I need to see and show me now. Oh, wow. So, yeah, I was only trying to pull one, but here we go. We'll start with the beginning, the number 8. Ooh, I feel chemistry between us. We need to trust that the energy we share will bring us back together again. So I'm not reading this romantically. It could be, but that's not the intent here. I do feel like people think that they have a connection to you, a magnetic connection with you, almost like they're super drawn to you. And I feel like because of your kind of cool exterior, or even here, like this person is behind her, kind of holding her, and she's just in the receptive, kind of like, yeah, I know you're there, kind of a thing. And I feel like people feel just incredibly drawn, almost like they have to kind of like make moves or try to strategize to be in the same room, in the same class, or on the same team, whatever the case may be, next to you. Then the number 8 tells me that people can actually obsess over you. And part of what's alluring and about you is that we feel that connection that you have with spirit, and that level of purity that is just so perplexing, especially in this day and age where everyone appears to be just out for it themselves, or at least that's the feeling. And I think that's highly attractive, but very unusual and puzzling. And it causes people to kind of wake up and want to really explore what that is all about. I'm trying to straighten these cards because they are all over the place. Anyways, the number 8 tells me, yeah, that people can actually fall easily in obsession with you, or they can't stop thinking about you. Same difference, right? A lot of people want to come into union with you, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but it's like, I want to be her best friend, his best friend. I want to know more about them, that kind of a thing. And the number 1, I'm triggered. Woo! So you could really be somebody who triggers other people. By the way, let me read this first. I'm triggered. An old pattern has resurfaced and it hurts. Okay. We'll see how that plays out. How is that even? You could actually just trigger people. People could start looking at themselves and thinking, well, why don't I possess those qualities? Why do they get all the attention, or things like that? So yeah, there's an element of you triggering other people, especially because you can have a leadership like spirit or a vibe about you that you don't really care what other people are doing. It's not like you're like, oh, hey, I'm the leader, follow me. You're just kind of like, hey, I'm just walking off doing my own thing, and people happen to follow. And you might be that kind of person that you glance over your shoulder, you're like, oh, wow, you actually want to follow me? Like, I never even thought about that. But you could be a trendsetter, a go-getter, a pave maker. That didn't make any sense, but you know what I'm talking about. Definitely an individual. You could be really even drawn to the color white right now, as in like anything that you choose, like your stationery or any journals, notepads, any purses or shoes or whatever your thing is, clothing. The aesthetics of white, even having, you know, white candle holders. I have the number 3 here. This journey is teaching us one of the most important spiritual lessons with the cooperation of the number 3. So something about you appears to be not only a leader, but you appear to be very much like a teacher, very much self-contained. I heard self-cleansing. Now I know that it sounds really wacky, but I feel like you come across as you don't really need a lot. Your connection with spirit is enough. And not only is it enough, it's plenty and it's everything. I think that... yeah, I feel like people can see or notice or feel about you that you don't really look to the exterior for answers. You go within and you go and you look at higher up, like source. I feel like even with this having like the tip of the iceberg or that idea, it's like people don't really understand you and they really wonder if you're actually as authentic as you appear to be, or as quote spiritual. That could be, you know, whatever, but as spiritual as you appear to be or you come across as being. So they wonder about that, of your connection to spirit. In fact, you could be someone who is psychic or a medium or a channeler, or any of those, or a tarot reader, of course. And so that could have something to do with how people see that you don't really seek answers within anyone else but you in spirit. So that's quite interesting how we feel around you. Number 5, please send me energetic support. Use a frequency of love to uplift me because I need your help. People come to you for help all the time. With the number 5, it causes a lot of changes in your life. I feel like that's weird. I heard the words rescuing Martha. I don't know if that means something to any one specific person, but you could be, maybe your name is Martha, Marty, but you could be somebody who is always on the rescuing, in the rescuing mode. You could be programmed, you know, to be in the helping fields, not programmed, but it could be in your DNA to naturally, instinctively, intuitively want to help. And I feel like even a lot of you guys could be in the, in things like psychology, psychiatry, medicine, using herbs and even like microdosing, or even herbs and things like that to be able to help heal people. You could be energy healers and practitioners. And if not, I feel like people get that sense of healing from you as well, which is pretty interesting. Bottom of the deck. The next solstice or equinox will bring an important shift for us. Draw another card to get an idea into what the shift might be. Now, before we do that, I'm going to say that you could have people that also are always reaching out for help. And because this is connected to the frequency of, you know, they're asking for love, like use your frequency of love to uplift me because I need your help. It's like, send me energy, love, support, and all of that. You could be somebody that people go, hey, will you please pray for me? Or will you meditate for me? Will you, and things like that, so on and so forth. Or you could be seen as like the spiritual guru in some ways. It doesn't have to be like a big thing, like, I don't know, like formal, but you could be like the guru within your circle that people go, hey friend, what about this situation? Or hey friend, you know, can you help me? Or can you pray with me or meditate with me or show me whatever? And I feel like that's how you come across, as somebody who is very calm, very humble, but very confident. I feel like people tend to mix and like misinterpret confidence and humility when they're paired together. It does seem to be almost like it almost seems to be like they're opposites, but they go quite well together. You can definitely be both at the same time. And so I feel like that's very surprising, and that makes you very enigmatic to other people. Moving on. I don't even know how much time we have. I'm just trying to keep these readings as similar in time, but you know, we do what we do. Show me what I need to see for pile number 2, those that chose the clear quartz, and show me now. Look, you keep getting 3 cards. That's interesting. The number 3 here, cooperation. I do feel like you have message in pile number 1. If you feel led to watch it, do not feel obligated, of course. Okay, let's see what we have. I always felt like I had a higher calling in life, and our connection brings me more clarity on it. You could be somebody who actually not defines people, but helps people to really bring a shift about their current circumstances. They maybe have their aha moment. They realize this epiphany of, wow, this is, you know, the road I need to go on. Like a major breakthrough. I feel like you help people make some major breakthroughs. So number 10, I always affiliate that with like endings, but then it reduces to 1, which is a new beginning. And I feel like you're definitely that person that helps people kind of form these breakthroughs. And it's almost like this crystal, yeah, that you can see right through. I just got another card. Okay. And you can help them kind of like remove any of the obstacles. It's like, now I could see clearly now. I could remove the obstacles and we could move forward. Now, I want to share with you really quick. This is really odd, but one thing that I was getting during your shuffle, and even before I started this entire reading, and before I really knew what it was going to be about to begin with, I keep hearing, if you're a TikTok watcher, you know what this is, but it's like, I think it's like, the boy in my DMs say I'm pretty. The boy in my DMs say I'm pretty. Something to that effect. So you could be somebody that watches TikTok a lot, or like to use sounds and kind of play around with things like that. But I also feel like you might have a lot of guys or girls or same sex, it doesn't make a difference, in your DMs feeling very attracted to you. No surprise there. People definitely feel like you have a deep connection with Source, and they want to connect with you. It's almost like, I just saw in my mind's eye a plug and then an extension and then several plugs in. So people want to plug into you. That could really get inappropriate. Moving on. I'm definitely tired. I think this will be my last pile till tomorrow. I'm going to get myself kicked off here. Moving on. Growth. I'm realizing this connection is something special and worth treasuring. So yeah, people think that they have a deep connection to you. Excuse me. And it's not that they don't. It's just that I feel like everybody thinks they have a singular and deep connection to you. Everybody can relate to you one-on-one. And I don't feel like you're one of those people that you're a traditional guru. You sit around and there's people around you and they paid a fee to sit around your feet or whatever, and we're all going to meditate and we're all going to, you know, learn something spiritual from you. But I do feel like you're that spiritual guru again in your friends list or on your in your friends circle. And I feel like with each person you connect vibrationally, mentally, emotionally with each person on a different level. And I feel like on their end, they feel like that connectivity is unusual and unsurpassed by any other connection that they have. And I feel like they could confuse that elation of being connected with like spirit and a higher power, with source, with God, however you want to call it. they could confuse that with attraction, or it can actually become attraction. Okay, not saying that you're not attractive, obviously, but those two emotions I feel like can get really confusing to people around you. They could think it's the same thing. You have a lot of ones. 1111, lost master numbers, ones here. I think you're beautiful inside and out. I see the light that radiates from your soul. Yeah. I mean, that's self-explanatory. I feel like you do have a really good reputation. Once again, I feel like you're not somebody who's going to be out there shiny and all polishy and just like, hey, look at me. I feel like you tend to be maybe more reserved, more quiet, more conservative, or at least that's how you come across. That's how we feel when we're around you. Maybe a little bit rough around the edges. I feel like the bluntness is there, okay? And I'm just going to vote right now, right here. I vote for bluntness. I think it's good. I think it's healthy just to get straight to the point, cut through the chase, and quit like dancing around topics. It's just so much easier. That's just my opinion. But you could be someone who really cuts through the quick. And I'm not saying not in a rude manner, but you can see directly through any problem or to the source of the root of the cause, whatever you want to call it, and just address the matter and then keep it moving. I don't think that you kind of sit and dwell on things, which is really nice. I really like that energy. Also, you could like the sunlight, the beach. I feel like you could feel like a really warm hug to someone. Yeah, so that is what I have for you. Pile number 2, if you like this kind of reading, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much. And until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Crystal with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. If you chose the rose quartz or this beautiful crystal rose quartz heart, this message is for you. For those of you that are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping in. For those of you that are repeat offenders, thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate all of you guys, your time, energy, and your effort. So first off, I'm going to say, in my own personal collection, I do have a lot of crystals. Rose quartz is not one of them. And it became quickly apparent as to why not when I actually read from the book. So, first off, I feel like you could be, when we're around you, I feel like we could feel a little bit like giddy, a little kind of innocent, fun, a little bit surfacey. I think that you bring out the best qualities in people. I feel like they feel like they could just have a good time and kind of relax and laugh about things. And I think that you provide a safe space for people. At least that's what they are feeling. And we like that about you. I also feel like you are quite underestimated in a lot of ways. I feel like people underestimate you because you really defer. You try to make peace with everything. I feel like you like balance and harmony. I feel like you have quite a bit of Libra in your chart, or you could be Libra. Yeah, peace and harmony. And I feel like you aim to please a lot of people around you just to make sure that everybody's happy. You could be that person that when you walk into a room, you can read a room and you could feel exactly like if something transpired, if people are not getting along, you get the vibe right away. And for whatever reason, I feel like when we're around you, it's almost like, oh, good, so-and-so's in here, that it's going to be okay. Like you provide that comfort. And we like that about you. So I'm going to take a moment to read from the little book. And by the way, these cards are from the Practical Witch, minus that fuzzy. So the Practical Witch Oracle, and you can find these on Etsy. So we have rose quartz is a reminder to take some time for self-care. This is a time of healing and nurturing yourself and your soul. Care for yourself and you will be able to care for others. Take time with yourself so that you can better your relationship with others. Love is a sacred energy and should be treated as so. Love yourself and in turn allow more love to flow into your life. Rose quartz is used to help with love and relationships, as well as promoting self-love and deep inner healing. Rose quartz also helps bring forth peace that has been known to help with skin. Wait, what? And has been known to help with skin when water is infused with it. Okay, that's interesting. Utilize the energy of this magical crystal in your daily life. Okay. So you know this little, like right away, I'm like those roll thingies that we kind of roll our faces with, especially as ladies like to do treatments, but men do them as well. Yeah, and I do actually have a rose quartz crystal in the fridge now that I remember. So it could be, you know, for gua sha, the, you know, to contour your face, or the kind to roll things to, or remove puffiness from your skin, whatever the case may be. I have one of those too. It's kind of cool. Anyways, regardless, it's good for the skin as well. That's the whole point. So yeah, you definitely have a lot of healing qualities about you, and we're going to find out exactly how we feel and what we think when we are in your presence. Pal number 3. Show me what I need to see for pile number 3. What do we feel about B when we're around? Huh? How are we feeling? Okay. This must be like a new tradition of 3s. Cards are just coming out in 3s lately. Okay, we're not taking reversals. We are communicating. Communication. I wish I could say what I really feel. Someday will, but right now I'm afraid to be myself. Interesting, because this deals a lot with love, so possibly people could have emotions about and feelings towards you that they're not really willing to say. They're a little bit afraid, and so even this person is behind the front person, and it's almost like they're hiding. So you could have people that are actually, this is not meant to be a love reading at all, not that there's anything bad with that, obviously, but I feel like you could have people that are really interested in you or intrigued or semi half in love with you. Okay, I heard drunk in love. So take that as you will, and I feel like you're gonna know about it, and I feel like you'd be gentle about it. I think you'd be very kind. You would let people down a certain way, like you would not shoot them down, but you would be very kind and gentle, you know, provided whatever the situation is. I don't feel like you're out to absolutely not hurt anyone's feelings. Okay, moving on. Timing and intentions. I'm praying you'll come back after everything that's happened between us. I worry that you won't forgive me and allow another chance. Okay, so I feel like you could have a lot of people that maybe have hurt you. Yeah, that would want a second chance. But I also feel like maybe people can sense that you have been through some ish as well. And that's why you just really try to be like a listening ear or a voice of comfort or shoulder to cry on, that kind of a person for other people. And yeah, you could also as well have exes that are like dying to get back in with you. Karmic ties. I've been giving away my power to people in my life. I'm learning to set boundaries. Yeah, so you could be learning how to cut boundaries. Cut people out of your life if they cross boundaries, if they're like a habitual crasher. boundary crasher, then I feel like you're not having it, but you're really focusing on that self-care needed to nurture yourself and other, in order for you to be able to nurture and give to other people as well. I feel like it's high time that you have learned this lesson, and maybe that's why even people that are really like attracted or drawn to you feel a little bit standoffish, because they know that maybe your cutting off game is strong, and you're not messing around. You realize that, the older we get, especially, we start realizing we need to conserve our energy, and that people that are just using us for energy or for admiration for any other thing that isn't for the highest good is not gonna really serve purpose anymore. It's not gonna fly anymore. And I feel like you are definitely taking your power back, and you are seen as that. So I feel like in spite of all of these things, people see that you do so with gentleness, and the only time that you could set like harsh boundaries or deal in a manner that seems cold and shut off is if other people call out that energy to you. I hope that's making sense. So basically, if you're treated in a certain manner, then the consequences will be another certain manner. Okay, enough said. So we're coming into union 11-11. I'm telling you, you have people around you that are actually in love with you, or really really falling for you, or really are tickled pink, and it could be because of the colors that we're utilizing right here. But you have this like healing quality about you. You could also be somebody who's watching all three piles. Okay, the number 5 union. Please send me energetic support. Yeah, this is another one of those. You could have relation to pile number 2. If you feel drawn, you could watch those. Obviously, if you're not, don't just do it because I said that. But use the frequency of love to uplift me because I need your help. You could have people demanding, and even this is you like setting boundaries. It's like you can't demand my energy when people like, hey, I need your support, I need this, I need that. And it's like right now is the time to take care of yourself, allow other people to take care of themselves. And when you're in a better position to be able to extend a hand, an arm, a boost, whatever the case may be, then you can as well. But I feel like people can actually demand that you extend a hand because they feel entitled. And the more, sorry, I'm picking up cards if my voice sounds kind of weird and all over the place, that's what's going on back here. But anyways, I feel like the more people are demanding, and it doesn't have to be outright like, oh, you owe me this time, but it's manipulation. It's trying to gain your attention through guilt or through antics or through pity parties or anything like that. I feel like you're not having that anymore because you are taking your personal power back and realizing that, there's only so much time in the day, and you've played that fiddle long enough. So that's pretty much over with. I think that you're taking time out to heal once again so that you can in turn give to other people. Show me what I need to see. Why is pile number 3 getting all these cards? What do we feel around pile number 3? And show me. This journey is teaching us one of the most important spiritual lessons, patience. And this is a nod to pile number 1. So again, I don't know, I feel like you should watch all 3 if this is resonating at all. People around you could feel like you are setting like really strong boundaries, or you're standoffish, especially if these people are people that are constantly in your ear, wanting your attention, wanting your affection, wanting your time. Or it's like a bottomless pit. You give, and they still want more, but they're entitled. And this could be like family members. This could be best friends. This could be family. This could be spouses, children, bosses, whatever the case may be, whatever that karmic tie is to you. And I feel like you're just setting limits. Bottom of the deck right here. Number 8, I know my heart will come together one day, and that helps me trust. Let's keep working on us. So people definitely want to work their relationship out with you. With the number 9, you could be feeling a little bit like defensive with this communication thing, karmic ties. And you could be like, okay, approach me, but do it in the right way. If not, I don't have time for you kind of a vibe. With the number 8, absolutely, you could have some like people obsessing over you or having some like recurring thought patterns. And also with the number 5, you could be having some people coming at you wanting to like demand time. Like, I'm going to take time from you because you owe me, that kind of a thing. Like very demanding, kind of like you owe me type energy. And I think that you're once again not having it. So the feeling around that is just like, you're not giving me what I want. Why? And it could seem very opposite of love in that moment in time. But I feel like these people are not connected, not getting their energy from source. They're not self-healing, and they're not plugged into their higher powers. So they're looking for you to kind of drain your energy. And it's a completely different frequency of what you're on, by the way. Show me what I need to see. What do we feel when we're around pile number 3? How are we feeling about pile 3? Show me now. Oh my gosh. I just dumped all the cards. Super talented. Messages. I feel your energy. Yeah. I feel your energy around me. And I wonder, are you thinking of me too? So this, oh wow, okay, I never noticed this before. That's kind of cool. There's like a little ghostly image behind. And so I feel like, yeah, you definitely have people trying to pull on your energy, maybe even people from the past wanting to reconnect with you. And part of it is because you are a healer. I feel like a natural healer. And people are just drawn to that warmth that you have. I feel like this is a common thread in all 3 piles, which is interesting to me. But I also feel like this could be a little bit of like telepathic communication. If you feel like you have like a twin flame or something like that, that you're in separation from, this could be saying that this person is thinking about you telepathically and wondering, hey, do you think about me? That kind of a thing. So you could have some kind of a tie back and forth going on. If you don't feel that in the 3D, if you're not hearing or getting a phone call, or getting a message every now and then to let people know they're thinking about you. It could definitely simply be like astral projecting or telepathy. I said simply. Like everybody does that every day. Yeah, Grisel. Anyways, moving on. Look, my ego is frail to criticism and rejection. I've created walls to protect myself. Well, that's a surprise. I mean, is not everybody. All of our egos are frail, and yeah. Anyways, that's why we need to undergo many ego deaths. And it's not just once or twice. It's many different types of ego deaths. And these things, in spite of feeling painful and feeling kind of like embarrassing, they're good for us because we're able to get to the core of what's most important to us, what's most authentic, and let go of facades and let go of like games and the need to kind of keep up with the Joneses and look like everybody else, and kind of narrate a story that doesn't belong to us, but an illusion that we want to create. Basically, kind of give life to an avatar that doesn't really truly exist. So it's healthy to kind of break those things down. But it's not easy. I will say that it's not easy. It is difficult, and it takes a lot of practice. And again, I consider myself a lifelong learner. I don't have everything down at any one given point in time, but I really am always working on something at every given point in time, because otherwise I just feel like, what's the point, right? So you could be somebody who is a life learner as well. And that could be very evident around you, that you're willing to make a lot of changes to be able to accommodate those ego deaths and to really accommodate your connection to source and to be the best that you can be, and also to provide like a soft place to land that for people who generally need it. And also having said that, strength is also knowing when to set limits on people that are just demanding and not a vibrational match for you. So people can't just be like, hey, remember me? We're best friends in the 2nd grade and you owe me XYZ. It just doesn't work that way. So I don't think that you're accepting that, and you're moving accordingly. Okay. So I feel like people that are in your life could be really offended by this. They could see that as like kind of bobbing and weaving and moving around in silence, when really it's just moving closer towards self-care and nurturing yourself. And these people, by the way, would say, well, you talk about self-care, you're doing all this self-care, but what are you doing for me? And it just goes back to, maybe you're dealing with a narcissist. I mean, that's very possible at this point in time. That's kind of what it's feeling like when it just gets rerouted. So every conversation that's spoken appears to be rerouting back to them. Show me what I need to see. What do we feel when we're around pile 3, please? Pile number 3. What are we feeling? What do we think when we're around you? And show me now. I long for your kisses and your touch. Well, I mean, that's self-explanatory right there. I do feel like you can have a twin flame. That's kind of jumping into this reading. That's not what this look in separation. I care about you even when I act like I don't. I'm hiding my true feelings because I feel vulnerable. And that, by the way, would be another ego death. Or it would take an ego death to go ahead and admit. It's like, hey, communicating. It's like, I really care about you. I'm sorry that I've been lying. My actions have been belying my words. This is what I really feel. I'm hiding my true self because I feel vulnerable. Nobody likes to be vulnerable, but I don't know. I think that this is another example of an ego death. And so I feel like you could be connecting with people. You could be even having people in the 3D start apologizing and saying, hey, you know, this is how I feel or want to communicate with you. But I feel like mostly people are connecting with you in your dreams like that, or in the astral, or subliminally. I feel like you intuitively know this. That's how you're affecting people. People are kind of sad that they treated you badly. Yeah. Last card. I wish I could see that we're mirroring each other. Oh, I wish you could see that we're mirroring each other right now. So people can feel like you're definitely holding up a mirror to them. And perhaps that's true, and perhaps that's simply projection. The number 4 to me is always about stability, about home life, about, well, it doesn't have to be about home life, but I always think home life. Just being stable, the 4 corners of the world, 4 corners of the earth, 4 corners of your home, and its foundation, things like that. You could be providing a mirror with the number 4, and I think we had 2 11s coming out here, which would obviously, whenever I see like 1111, I think of the number 4 because of the Tarot, the 4 of Wands. And so this can be stating, you know, you guys are definitely marrying each other. Maybe you're pretending you don't care about someone, or you're just taking care of yourself, and vice versa. And there needs to be a little bit of an ego death there on both parts in order to come together, if that is the strategy. But most of all, there needs to be a lot of self-care. And if self-care is removing yourself from toxic relationships, people who demand of you, people who don't take no for an answer, people who strategize, who manipulate, who drop designs, who call out for receipts, whatever the case may be, to really way overcomplicate things. I think you're, again, drawing away and doing a lot of self-care. So that is what I have for you. I feel like people are starting to realize that you are picking you. If it's between me and you, I pick me. If it's between you and me, I pick me. If it's between you and thee, I pick me. Like every single time, because guess what? Everybody else does too. And not just that, you cannot do any good to anyone else if you're running around taking care of everybody, the world, trying to be what we're told Mother Teresa was in the books, right? Super self-sacrificing. You can't be all of that if you're not giving back to yourself first, so you can be strong and you can be whole and happy, and giving out of a desire to give and help, and not out of a compulsion or guilt or manipulation. So that's what I have for you. I feel like you're on a healing journey. Other people feel that healing journey around you, and they're curious about it as well. Yeah. So last card I have for you, simply because I shuffled and I happen to look, another 4. I don't feel deserving, and it's affecting my level of abundance and openness. So people could feel like they need to have money around you, or they need to have some type of ability to take care of you, maybe. And that's not it at all. Once again, I feel like they're missing the mark. They're not really quite understanding what it is that you need. And maybe that's the time of like clear communication would come in handy to say, hey, you know, what do you expect of me? Or what would you like from me? Or what would you like a significant other? Or what would you like of me as a sister, a brother, a mother, a father, a cousin, an auntie? I don't really care what the relationship is, or even as a coworker. It's like, what do you really require from me in order to be like at our best right here, in order for everything to heal, in order for it to be an equitable and even exchange of energy. Okay, it's not 50-50, it's equitable. And I feel like people really misunderstand the energy. People think that maybe you're really bougie and they need to provide a lot of money or financial things in order to be in your circle, or in order to have that reciprocal energy that they really are demanding from you. But it's not money either. They're once again missing the mark. So people misunderstand you. That pile number 3, I could have cut that into, I don't know, 5 minutes. So I apologize for that. It was a little bit long-winded, but I thank you so much if you showed up. And that's all I have for you right now. And I wish you well. Thank you so much once again. Please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led to. Until next time, namaste.